What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm back at you one more again, trying to see what's shaking with you, baby. For sure. Um, I was thinking about doing. I've been hearing a whole lot about this segregation thing that's been going on quite a bit. There's been a lot of conversation going on about that, and I was thinking maybe should I do something on that? And I know Moore came at me today and said something to me about. Again, I ain't had a chance to look at it yet. I'm behind on a lot of stuff. I guess they're saying Kobe Bryant, or they trying to insinuate that his death may have been more than just an accident. Like I said, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on around here right now, man. A whole lot, man. And there's a lot going on outside of domestic confines of the country as well. But I wanted to tap in on this particular subject here that I told y'all about the other day that I was gonna go ahead and tap in on with this Diddy thing. And I'm pulling some stuff. I'm basically, I've been doing a nice amount of Willie D stuff over there. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this. Give him a shout out, even though I don't need it. That joker got over a million doggone subscribers. He getting it. But he makes a lot of good points. And that's why I cover some of his stuff. But Willie D been on this thing with Diddy, and which if y'all watched him on past stuff when he talking about $1 billion, and now he's finally admitting, I would love to hope that he's watch some of my stuff, but I would constantly say, $1 billion don't mean nothing if they plan to come rob you for it. And I said out the gate that they was looking to come and rob Diddy. I'm not saying Diddy ain't no super freak. I know he a super freak. I know he want to put baby oil on everybody. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that his moral character is good or any of that. Now let me touch on this too. When the purpose for this platform is for us to have conversation, folks. I don't look for us to agree on everything. I don't look. I try to present the situation where everybody get a chance to have a part of their argument displayed within the platform, and then I give my opinion on it. So I'm non-judgmental. I try to take the idea of race out of the scenario just to be fair, and I try to evaluate both sides and use history as a precedence to judge what's going on. Not telling nobody how to feel. I see the comment. Give me a minute. So because I'm getting a lot of traction on the thing we did with Larry Hoover and Derek Chauvin the other day, there's a lot of people commenting on that, and that's good. But like I said, we want to have a conversation. But like I said, we're gonna get to this Diddy thing. Let me check this comment right here. Man, Ja, you got my ass buried. I got a whole lot of stuff you've been sending me I got to catch up on. So just be patient with me. But peace, my brother. Yeah. But we're gonna slide on this Diddy thing. And I want to go ahead and have a conversation. And I want to show why I'm saying that what's going on now is a projected robbery of Diddy, because clearly they're not bringing the evidence that they had on Diddy with all them tapes and all that, and that's for a reason as well. Keep in mind as we go through this, and this is gonna end a little bit different. This is gonna end with a little statement from this brother right here. He got almost a million views. He a preacher, Marcus Rogers, and I want to make a point. I'm gonna play with it, and the thing about it, he did something on Diddy almost 4 years ago, and it's basically what Diddy's going through right now. You know, from a message that he received that God told him to give to Diddy. But we're gonna check that out at the end. I'm gonna give my love. We're gonna go into silly season for a minute. We always do that. So let me go ahead and slide on this first one, and we're gonna go into that, and I'm gonna give some personal history on myself and stuff that I went through on this actual subject here that made me say what I'm saying about Diddy. Not saying that he's innocent, but there's something more foot to this. So let's get to it.
the government doesn't even have to prove that any of his assets were tied to criminal activity. Damn, how they do that? Just take your stuff at any time. Something just seems illegal about that. A mansion over here and a yacht, a private jet that I used, that I bought with a check I received from a company I do business with. And because I'm being accused of something totally unrelated to those businesses, you can take my stuff.
And that's the basis of a RICO, people. That's the basis of a RICO. That's the basis of conspiracy. And I guess people don't recall back when Al Capone and all them different guys was doing their thing with the mob. When they originally started indicting them, the original indictments was on tax evasion. Tax evasion is dealing with not paying taxes on proceeds. And that gave them permission to go in and basically commandeer all the assets. That's why when you hear them talk about with drugs, because basically what they're doing with hip hop now, they basically charging you with former mob laws and what they charge drug dealers with. That's what they're doing now. Think about Young Thug, Rico. You know, damn it, just about everybody they've been charging now. They've been charging hip hop. They've been charging with Rico. It's like these hip hop guys is like the new drug dealer now. You know what I'm saying? I think Big U out there in LA, I believe that's a Rico thing, even with that. So we need to start paying attention to what's going on. And they're moving the goalposts because these things can apply anywhere. Who would ever think that you would have a RICO charge being placed on somebody in state? They usually don't do RICOs and conspiracies in state because it's hard to prove them. But that's what they're doing now. You know, and as I stated before, I'm going to get the comment in a minute. As I stated before, when Puffy did everything he did, Puffy had a ledger. And in that ledger, Puffy wrote down what he paid everybody who was involved in everything. And with that ledger, once he get caught, since he was a former, allegedly, individual providing information to the government, he know how the government is structured. So by them getting that ledger, if they wanted to charge anybody else in correlation with what he was doing, he would be the key witness since he wrote down all the notes. And that would get him a Rule 35 and a 5K, and he would get out of jail free for helping make the government's case. You ain't seen that ledger, and you ain't seen none of them tapes or any of that. So they putting on the trial because they want to rob him. But the stuff they're charging him with is really a PR campaign trying to destroy his credibility to get a conviction. And under RICO, they can take everything. But I'm going to come back to what Trump said the other day about him possibly looking into it and considering a pardon. And I want you to look at these words that he stated. I think they may be asking me. Who is they? Think about that now. Who is they? Let me get this comment. We're going to slide on this next one. Hey, Moore, what's up with you, bro? Hey, I got to pull up that thing you told me to pull up, man. I thought about it as well. I'm going to pull that up and look at that. That may be something good. So I'm going to check that out. Because Josh sent me a bunch of stuff too. So I'm kind of behind. But I got you, homie. Okay. Now let's slide on this next one.
Claims are a big hustle. They do it at the airports. You know, like if you show up at the airport with like, let's say 10,000 racks and you ain't got a receipt for that 10,000 racks, like where you got this money from, they can hold the money. And what they do is they'll hold that money and have you trying to fight to get your money back. And oftentimes when they seize the money, you live in a different state. Then they tell you got to come to court in this different state, fly back in here, come in here and face the court, and then they reset it. Then they reset it. Then they reset it. Till you just say, you know what, man, you just give up. You know how much money it is, you just oftentimes you give up.
And that's the thing. Most people don't know that that's a hustle. That's been a hustle for a long time. Like when my attorney used to tell me all the time. I mean, we had got rated at one point, and I'm coming back to Diddy because this is all relative. We were being rated at one point, but he always told me whenever the police is coming in, you're about to be raided, pull all the money out your pocket and set it in the middle of the table or something and move away from it. He said, because whoever has the most money, this is in Detroit, whoever has the most money, excuse me, y'all, somebody calling me here. Hold on a minute. Hey, Sam, I ain't got time to be fucking with you, man. I'm doing a live right now. Your ass probably drunk, so I ain't got time to be fucking with you.
I am drunk, but I want to tell you I love you. That's all.
You always, every time you get drunk, you want to tell some goddamn body you love 'em. Ain't nobody got time for. And nigga, you think you hustled me the other day. You think you hustled me. No, yes you did. But I'm gonna get your ass. Bye. Sorry about that. It's just family having conversations. Y'all know how that can be. And we family here, so ain't no sense in hiding nothing. But anyway, um, we were getting ran up on by the feds. This is actually in my book right here. And let me show y'all this too. It's my book right there on Amazon. There's the 3 volumes right there on it. Y'all can check that out. But like I said, we was getting ran up on. Feds was running up on us. And I told everybody, I'm like, listen, they coming. They're like, oh, they coming, they coming. I'm like, listen, calm down. Everybody take all the money out your pocket, because we had a pool table. Put it in the middle of the pool table and back away from it. So when they came in, they asked, this money yours, this money yours. It's about 40, 50,000, something at that time, something like. But anyway, nobody claimed it. Because if you claim it, it's anything in the house, drugs, guns, is automatically yours. You see what I'm saying? So they depend on that. And also in the city, when we were younger, they would do stings, run around and run up in everybody's house and things of that sort, and just taking money. And as they take money, what happens? You have to pay for an attorney to go fight to get the money. And half the time the money ain't enough because the attorney gonna cost more than that. And then if you do fight, you got to go through court like what Willie D just said, back and forth. And then if they do give it back to you, they're gonna take a certain percentage because they had to process it. Go figure, right? Let me get these 3 comments right here. And then we're gonna move on a little further. Uh what we got here? Okay, ATM. What's good with you, baby? Uh what's going on? Okay. Listen, man. Continue to fuck with us. I don't know if you subscribe or you following, man. Tap in with us, man. We be over here. We be building. We be building. So it's good to see you up in here. I ain't seen you up in here before, but continue to come fuck with us, brother. Uh, yeah, baby. I told you I'll go get that nigga. He a damn fool. Now he over here texting me all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, John, I had to get on him, man. I had to get on him. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna go on again because I ain't gonna be in front of y'all long, man. Let me go and hit y'all with this one.
That's how they do. They come in, a lot of times they kick in doors and all that stuff, talking about they looking for drugs, and then they just take your TV. They just take whatever they see. Take the watch, take the TV, take the money. They're all up in your closets looking for stuff. They're not looking for evidence. They're looking for merchandise so they can take it. You know, you've seen the videos of cops stealing people's stuff, going inside of people's homes and looking in the closets, taking whatever they want, going all in the drawers, taking what they want. That's a hustle. That's a hustle.
And I know, like I said, I'm talking about drugs, but these are the same laws that they're using on these rappers. So the same principles apply. The same exact principles apply. What he's talking about there, it's in the book also. I got a situation up in Baltimore when they came up. I think I did a video on this some time ago. When they came up in there on my guys, they took money up out of there and they started moving out TVs. I had to stand up Pac-Man and and Gallagher, you know, them old school gangs. I guess I'm showing my age here. They just moving it all up out there. Neighbors start coming, and actually some of the Baltimore Ravens was staying in the area my particular house was in, and the people asking like, "What are you doing? What? Oh, this is drug forfeiture." There was no drugs in the house. My guy was in there, had a shootout, you know, something, you know, they was acting up a little bit, but it had nothing to do with no drugs. But they took all the stuff out and gutted it. Had Morris shoes in there. And that's one of the things that they do. One of my guys was buying gold coins way back in the day. This back when the gold coins was 1 ounce coins was like $225. No, $175. He had a bunch of them. They came and they stole all the coins and things of that sort and never reported it. So what I'm saying, all of these laws with drug laws and all this, all the laws apply to the mob, apply to these are all financial laws. Your drug laws, Rico, is under the financial section in the criminal code. You see what I'm saying? So charging with this Rico, they can take everything for him. But the problem with Rico is usually a hierarchy. You know, that's why I usually say, you see a drug thing, they say he ran it like a Fortune 500 corporation. That's the reason why they say that, because these are financial laws. So in the Rico, you're not supposed to be by yourself. They're supposed to be like a president, and the whole you seen on TV how they got the board with this guy here and the two guys there and all that. That's a Rico. But they cooking up something to rob him because they can't charge him with the stuff they would like to charge him with, because there's some influential people involved in this case that they don't want to bother. And they may be blackmailing them too. Because don't forget about J. Edgar Hoover and what he used to do on everybody, not just Martin Luther King. He had tapes and everything on all the celebrities. This is what they do. Let me run this next one.
Man, they know damn well that man ain't made all that money, hundreds of millions of dollars, in no criminal enterprise. You know? But they are going for it. They are going for it. And a lot of people are saying that's the play all along. That was the play from Jump Street, to take his money. That was the play from Jump Street. I don't believe that, man. Not our government, man. Our government don't rock like that, man. It's the United States of America. Even if somebody did something like that, a politician would step in. One of our duly elected politicians would step in. Even if they're not a fan of Diddy's, they would step in just to do the right thing. Just to show the American people that we are a nation of laws and everybody gotta respect the law, even those who work in law enforcement. I know there's a politician out there that would do that. You can't tell me that there isn't one that would do it.
He's been a little facetious there because they're not going to get involved with that. And basically, all our laws are based off of the laws from Britain. That's why you hear Jay-Z, people like that speak about the Magna Carta. One day I'm going to do something on the Magna Carta and show you the reason why the Magna Carta came about. The Magna Carta was basically an agreement between King John at the time, King John III, I believe, and the robber barons. Robber as in robber barons. And he was extorting the king. So it was an agreement, basically, you could say, between the aristocrats and the plutocrats. It had nothing to do with the people. Nothing to do. And the law that they created from that is basically the arbitrator between those two. Same way your country is lined up today, with executive, legislative, and judicial. But we'll get into that another time. But the whole point to what I'm trying to say, he knows exactly what's going on. Everybody knows that's familiar with the law and how this works, exactly what's going on. Now let me play you right here what Sammy the Bull had to say, and it's gonna bring it around as I get ready to get out y'all way.
Why did the government put in the RICO Act? Why did they Just indict him on what he did to each and every person with drugs, kidnapping, child molestation, all of this stuff. He loses hands down. They're charging him with the Rico for this reason. The government is just as disgusting as he is. They are turning around. The Rico is meant to take his money and properties and everything. That's what the fuck they're looking at. That's why they put in Rico. Rico does not belong in this case. They developed the Rico for the mafia, Italian people, to go after the Italian people. And it's a corrupt organization. I know what the Rico law stands for. He don't have a corrupt organization. It's him.
It's him. His organization is not corrupt, but just by having Rico in there, they can take everything. They don't have no, you heard him say the child molestation, you heard him say allegedly, you heard him say kidnapping. You're not hearing none of those charges. Anything we've been hearing over time leading up to this case with him going to court, you're not hearing none of it. None of it's being introduced. Now, pay attention to this. Comey, James Comey, daughter, is the head of this prosecution team. James Comey just put some stuff on the internet not too long ago on the beach, lined up with the shells. I didn't put it in here, but basically almost suggesting like something could happen to Trump or whatever the case, and it caused a big issue. The Secret Service had to get involved and talk to him and all that. His daughter is the head of this prosecution team. We both know that Trump is petty. We both know Trump is super petty. And we both know that Trump fired Comey and he hates Comey, and the feelings are mutual. So there's more than one reason for Diddy to get pardoned. Because if Comey's daughter gets a conviction, Trump just that petty to rob her of it. Now, that's just one thing. Now, going back to what he said about, they haven't asked me yet. There's some other people involved in this case, a lot of powerful and influential people that can't afford for Diddy to go down. But keep in mind, if Diddy comes out of this, and there's a good chance that he could, that's because they up to something. They're going to try to recycle this nigga. Nigga as in N-E-G-A. Okay? Not the other one. Okay, here we go. About to run this.
Rico has a statute like for the mafia. There's a boss, an underboss, a consigliere, captains, maid guys. This whole organization goes out and commits crimes, murder and all kinds of crimes. And it's an organization. And it's very easy for people to understand it. Now, it's a very complicated law. It went out after the Italians and the mafia to Hispanic people. I was in prison with Hispanic people, black people who got hit with the Rico law, didn't even know what the fuck they were talking about. But it was an easier law for them to win cases, number one, and for them to confiscate the money. They want his hundreds of millions or billions of dollars, whatever he has. They want that money. And if they lose this case, they lost it because of their own greed. Rico does not belong in this case as far as I'm concerned.
Why do the ultra wealthy in this country do not keep their money here? Why do they always find places to hide their money? But you might say, what's wrong what they're doing to Diddy? What's wrong what they... Let me show you something. This is just what they do. Anybody can get it. Check this out.
The U.S., in addition, confiscates the assets of other countries, as it has done with the Russian Federation, with Venezuela, with Iran, with North Korea, with Afghanistan, and with other countries. It simply freezes the dollar holdings of other countries with which it has foreign policy differences, including the confiscation of $300 billion of Russian foreign exchange reserves.
The laws that were directly created from that wonderful document that Magna Carta was to benefit the robber baron. We're not going to go too deep into that. But right there, I'm showing you, this is what this country does to countries. So what makes you think it won't do it to its citizens? We oftentimes don't pay attention to stuff because we say, this guy's a criminal, that guy's a criminal, and you just discard it. But right now, drugs ain't prevalent like it used to be. So what they do, they go rob other people. Now, understand, I'm not trying to get down on the law because the law is very, very beneficial and it's helpful. But it also has another side. And I'm showing you that side. Well, you thinking, oh, drug dealer, that's why they taking it. No, they find ways. He not no drug dealer, but he's done drugs and there's been drugs all in there. And then there's maybe been some hints that he was, but you're not seeing none of that because of the people that are involved. Now, let me show you another case where they use the law to rob. Here we go.
I think, about a plan to buy Marvel, the comic business, back in 2001 or 2, I think it was. Let's listen to this.
We could easily go into Universal and buy. We would own Jaws, E.T., Close Encounters, all the classics from Universal. Own all of that stuff. And that would allow us to do a channel. Part of the Marvel channel can be not only the Marvel characters, but Marvel films, like the catalog. We could do anything we want, from restaurants to retail, theme parks.
Now, you actually got the financing in place, I believe, for this deal. Then came the scandal court cases, and it all got put on the back burner. Disney ended up buying Marvel and doing exactly what Michael had predicted and making a fortune.
The law, people. Now, what I'm saying, I'm not saying, and this is what I'm saying overall with all this, I'm not saying that your prosecutors and your people up in the government, that they all colluding and doing all these different things. I'm not suggesting that. I ain't looking for no smoke. You dig what I'm saying? And everything's alleged. You dig. But what I am saying, that there are powers that we don't speak to and we don't like to acknowledge or think about. You get under that conspiracy. But I tell people all the time, I went to prison for conspiracy. You dig what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying to you. These people involved in this Diddy case, them people involved in that the Epilator case, and all this are powerful, powerful people. And they have friends in powerful places. If they're not in control of some of these different, this is what I'm saying. So they can't. And I don't believe they're going to be able to convict Diddy. And if he is, he's going to get out of there. Trump's going to let him out because a number of his parties allegedly used to be in a number of Trump hotels. Allegedly. So people, pay attention to what's going down. Pay attention to what's going down and think about it. Now, on Diddy's situation. Diddy is in a situation where he's going to have to make a choice. If Diddy walks out of this, that's because they still see, within my opinion, a use for Diddy. Let me point this out. Diddy, you can Google this, 2020, Diddy started a party, a political party called the Black Party. You can also look, and this, let me see, when they was running this time, Diddy came out and said he was going to hold the black vote hostage. I got videos on this. And then I even had Judge Joe Brown come out and say the reason why he think this happened to Diddy, because it was possibly affecting certain political individuals. What is Trump doing? Trump is moving to get favor within the black community with black males, as well as his other group, MAGA. Now, again, MAGA, all MAGA's not racist for those that's on that, but you do got some members of MAGA that's racist. Just like you do got some members of our community that's racist too. But these are communities that he do well with. And I stated yesterday, he's trying to tip the scales in his favor along the swing states. Now, if he can get Diddy, and he does this, look at who he's been partnering now in Detroit. Look, he let Kilpatrick up out of there, left them fines on him. Kilpatrick just came out and said a couple of months ago, like, damn, Trump, I helped you out with this thing here. What's up with the rest of that check? This is a transactional president. So don't get it messed up. If he come in and do something for Diddy, he gonna want a favor back. And him and Diddy used to be real close. Dig what I'm saying now? Now, for Diddy, he would have to reform. He would have to reform. And don't forget, he was also, when he changed his name to Love, he was over there flirting with who? T.D. Jakes. Now, allegedly, they say, you know, he got frisky and put some baby oil on T.D. Jakes. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. So don't y'all put it more. And Ja, don't try to put me in that mess. Don't try to put me in that mess. I don't know nothing about that. But don't be surprised. Just like Kilpatrick, and I ain't questioning Kilpatrick's thing, but he came out, went to church. Diddy might end up with a mega church. I'm just saying. But let me play the words of this pastor here. I believe his name is, let me hit it again. This is the last video, and I'm going to get out y'all way. Marcus Rogers. Let me run what he's saying. And like I said, this man sent this message out to Diddy like 3, almost 4 years ago. Listen to what this man's saying. And I've heard some of his stuff, and you can tell there's an anointing on this brother's voice. But check it out. I see your comment. Give me a second.
And what God showed me about you, man, you are in a dangerous place. You need deliverance from demonic influence in your life. You got a strong snake python spirit. He's giving you a chance to humble yourself and repent. Why? Because he loves you. Because he loves you. And you know what? Man, if you want to reach out and talk to me, we can. If you want to just blow me off, you know people to reach out to. There's some people you need to make things right with. Came against some of God's anointed. You've touched some of God's anointed. And God has allowed you to get away with a lot, just as he's allowed many people to get away with a lot, you know, for a while. But God has highlighted you to me. And God says, I see you, Sean. And I'm telling you, Diddy, right now, repent, or God is going to handle you.
Hey, there it is. There it is. Just because you get away with what you're doing for a season, don't mean that God ain't going to bring some reckoning to you. Don't forget, he allowed Pharaoh and hardened his heart, let Pharaoh get on out there a minute. Then he had to go ahead and straighten Pharaoh out as well. And like I tell people all the time, look at the Bible. Every time the children of Israel called for God to save them, excuse me, God, come help us, save us and all this. I don't know if y'all want God to come, because when God comes, he mess people up. People lose their lives. God ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? So maybe something to pay attention to. Maybe Puffy get the chance to hear that, see this brother or whatever, anointed brother right there. Check his channel out. He got some real good stuff over there. But it's something to just pay attention to. I ain't gonna take y'all to church, but y'all get what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna check these comments right here, and I'm gonna get out y'all way. Okay, I see you two jokers over here cutting up again. More at Ja. What you got? Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. If you go to and just real stuff, if you go to the Bible and look at some of the most influential people in the Bible, these jokers had issues, man. They had problems. They was major F-ups. When God come get somebody, he don't go get no little crook. He get a huge crook. I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, y'all got some more shenanigans down here. I think Diddy is gone. I believe he is too, man. One hooker crook. Found out today he's been on the F. But he been on the F. That's why I said more. He knew how to write them ledgers up because he knew the evidence and information he had to turn in. The same way that stuff Big U allegedly was up there doing. They be, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna do a video on that. But yeah, the same thing Big U was doing up there. Because what happened, I don't know if you've seen Whack 100 said the other day that 600 went to go try to get that same deal that Big U had. What's the name of his developing option something developing options or something, and went to the government. They told him cool, he qualified, but he had to get, I think, 3 or 4 people that would sign documents as an informant and agree to do that. But see what they will be setting up, because as they will give money, what would happen, those 4 people that agreed to be informants, he would have to pay them a check. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, y'all got to follow and see how deep this shit go, man. What's up, John? That's how that shit go, man. Listen, I didn't seen it, man. I didn't seen it. This government had federales and shit over in Mexico that they were paying. I didn't seen it, brothers. I ain't cooking up nothing on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and run my thing real quick for some of y'all that don't know. You know what I'm saying? I hope ATM still out. You still out there, ATM? You know, let me run this for some of y'all that don't know who I am and my experience level.
Chapo starts to tell me that he only dealt with one other black guy. I can't remember what he said, the 90s or when. He said he dealt with one other black guy before. The black guy never cheated him. He said they did real good work, but then he just up and disappeared. He said he didn't owe him no money. He just disappeared. He never seen him. And he said that was the only black guy that he worked with. You're not going to disappear on me, are you? Like that. And I'm like, no. You know, I'm going to say yes. Listen, let me tell you something, my friend. I need you to know this. He said that at the end, this right here, he did it. He said must always end up in the hand of a black man.
What?
The cocaine must always end up in the hand of a black man.
What did you think he was trying to tell you?
It meant a whole lot more to me later. What he was telling me is that you are the most important variable. And if I have a direct link with you like I had with the other black guy that I worked real good with, we made plenty of money. So he's giving me a history. I have worked with somebody black, so me and you could work together. And basically saying this guy made a lot of money, he just left. And I want you to know at the end, you are the most important variable because you have access to the market.
Okay. And like I said before, I'm going to get your comment in a minute. This is my book on Amazon. It's in audio. It's you can get the hard copy or you can get ebook and audio. You can follow along as reading for you. And these are the different volumes or whatever the case may be. If you want to check out my whole story, you can go over there on Connect Podcast. I'm like just below 1 million views on that joint right there. Let's see what we got here. More. So 600 wanted Whack 100 spot and 50 Cent want. What Mama used to say as we were growing up, more and Ja, what's understood don't need to be explained. What's understood need to be explained. Tell them, baby mama. Tell them. I know you out there. Tell them. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in with me, man. I just want to drop a little something on y'all. I think I'm gonna mix that story up with 600 in them probably the next couple of days more. But I gotta look at that thing you sent me as well. Then I'm behind on Ja stuff. Excuse me on that clearing my throat or whatever. Oh, there she is. It's stamping. It's official, like a referee with a whistle, baby. Dig. I fuck with y'all, man. But like I always say, at the end of the day, I hope and pray that y'all fuck with me. Appreciate you, Ja. But I'm gonna end it as I always do. But first, give me some likes. Give me some thumbs. I got 1 like, man. Come on, do something for me out there, y'all. Follow, subscribe, show your boy some love. I'm working hard over here. You know what I'm saying? But for all my people, keep in mind and remember, we got next. Deuces.